Hello, and welcome to this episode of Frankie's Cultural Observations. Today, we're going to be analysing passive aggressive housemates. Passive aggressive housemates are inside your walls, deploying war based tactics in the shared living space. But because of pre established social norms, they can't unleash violence upon you. So the WhatsApp group chat becomes their arena of conflict, the smiley emoji their weapon of choice, softening the sharp edges of their thinly veiled threats by telling everyone to clean up after themselves and do their own dishes because there's no maids in this house. Smiley face. Passive aggressive housemates are prefects of the adult world, barking their orders in a soft, soothing tone, masking their accusations with the form of a question mark at the end of each sentence, to make it sound more like a two-way conversation rather than a utilitarian dictatorship. Did you leave the toilet clogged this morning and not clean it up again? Should I take my shoes off?
No.
Passive aggressive housemates are human calculators who know exactly how much money you owe them and how much of their milk you drank without permission, even though their milk was on your side of the fridge, an organisational system that the passive aggressive housemate designed specifically so this would never occur. But rather than taking accountability for their mistakes, they reconsolidate themselves as the arbiter of morality within the household system, throwing a guilt-laden reprimand in your direction by saying something like, "Ah, not cool, man."
Not cool, man.
Passive aggressive housemates have a problem with the noise downstairs because some of us actually have to get up early in the morning. So if you could just leave the music switched off while others are trying to sleep, that would be amazing. Passive aggressive housemates are very private with their personal life, despite appointing themselves as a public figure in yours. They may work from home, they may not work at but all we really know is they never leave the house. If they did, they might lose track of your mistakes. And then, who would be there to pull you aside for a quick chat, giving you an emotional beatdown about leaving the dishwasher open again, only to tell you to calm down when you call them out for being in their dressing gown all day? Then, when things settle down and you come back from work to watch Netflix, they silently barge back into the room, glued to their phone, to ask you, "What happened earlier? You got really heated. Is everything okay?" And by the way, you can tell them anything, because they really care about your mental health. Passive aggressive housemates are so emotionally abusive that you might not even notice it. These anally retentive dictators draw up chores lists under the guise of being helpful, when really it's just to be in control, doling out punishments to the most deserving slobs in the house. That's them. So now it's time to take out the bins, because someone forgot to take them out last week. Tuesday is the green bin. Passive aggressive housemates expect perfection, even though their own bedrooms are a total mess. But rather than addressing the carnage they leave in their wake, they pry their way into your personal space to find out why you left the dryer on overnight. If passive aggressive housemates were violent, they'd be far easier to deal with. But their abuse is so subtle, if you weren't as thin-skinned as you are, their persistent stabbing wouldn't even leave a mark. The passive aggressive housemate, at their core, has a lack of self-identity. They can't exist in a vacuum. How could they? They ask someone else to hoover the stairs. Without their roommates, the passive-aggressive housemate would be a homeowner, but their new lack of co-tenants wouldn't force them to look in the mirror. Instead, they'd look over the fence, graduating from a passive-aggressive housemate to a next-door neighbour from hell, moving their horror show from the comfort of their own home to the level of community, poisoning the atmosphere, one sideways glance and self-righteous remark at a time. Could you hold